Chris, I do not know of any vendor for what kind of business license did you get? Because if you have a business license, like I feel like you should be able to verify it, even if it's an apartment, because a lot of people run their towing businesses maybe from there. You just have to submit those documents to Google, right? So you got a DBA doing business as fictitious. Like we did that with one of our other listings and it got verified. With the 5 season Gmails, regardless of where I am in other steps, I can go ahead and yeah, if you have 5 Gmail, I believe we have 5 websites together. So use those 5 season Gmails and log it in to each individual browser in your multi-login folder. It says I have a potential client that live in a small town near Las Vegas. Population size is he is very well connected. Is it worth pursuing? Yeah, absolutely. I think 45,000 population is great. Nurture that relationship, build that relationship, and try to. It depends on what kind of niche is it. If it's like towing, they receive cash a lot of times. So it doesn't really make sense to do commission because you can't really track cash. It probably for towing, it probably makes sense to do more paper call. For towing calls, it's probably, yeah, let's ask even ChatGPT. Towing is relatively low ticket, right? So for example, if they get a call, they probably close most, if they close one out of every five, right? If you charge $20 for each call, that means they spent $100 to close one, and one towing job is like $250 or something like that. Maybe it's like $10 per call for towing, right? But this niche might not even be towing, but I'm just like going through the thought process of anyone that want to do paper. Because how you make these deals with business owners is going to be different based on the niche, right? And I think this is where a lot of people like fail to understand. Cost per lead for towing companies, the average cost per lead is approximately, though this can vary by region. Yeah. So I think ChatGPT gives you pretty general good guidelines of what these leads should be. And again, with call sling, 30 seconds, you know that it was a real lead and not a robocall. Then you can create an automation where you charge every real, you just charge the towing company like $15. Yeah, like my guy had to go back and forth with Google quite a bit. Again, I would try to get an electricity bill, a legit electricity bill at brand-utility.com as well and just keep submitting. Jose says, follow-up question. We are using our aged email per how many businesses? The more we have, the more we can spread out, but for those of us that have two aged, we're using one aged Gmail per business. Jose, do you know anybody in the US that like your friend or family at all in the US that'll let you just log into their Gmail, explain to them we're just gonna create a map listing on it. It won't affect their Gmail at all. Chris says he gets $5 per call whenever they pick up, or that's pretty like he's getting paid $5 even if it's like a no answer. Yeah, that's the problem with these towing guys is sometimes they don't answer their phone enough. Jose, this is correct, what you just said. Debbie says, we built to 10K per month, almost 100% on towing. Ask me anything. I'll say, nah, too much work. And tracking for the same amount of work for a much higher ticket. And in my experience, much more reliable clients. So Debbie's kind of saying towing is a lot of work to track and it's low ticket. And I believe she's saying it's the same amount of work to track higher ticket, so why not go more higher ticket? Chris, the site was, yeah, it was kind of a brand. I mean, it was called Tampa Hurricane Windows.com. Oh, the brand-utility.com. Yeah, Debbie linked it. Mauricio, incognito mode when starting every new Gmail address. I don't think that works. That, in my opinion, like Google still knows your IP. And starting a new Gmail, it just doesn't have that much trust anyways. You're stuck in a rock and a hard place, right? Either what you're gonna have to do is get a static IP like I showed you, get multi-login and actually connect to the IP, but it depends on the location though, because I was able to get Los Angeles ISP. Some locations you cannot, but if you can get a static IP, you have to do some Google searches to find out. But if you can get a static IP, then log in to that using like a multi-login browser and then create not a brand new Gmail, but I would create a G Suite email, which is like the company email using G Suite, which is like $8 a month. And then really try to age that Gmail like 2 to 3 weeks. If not, you can try incognito. Most likely your IP is not in the same location as the business. You're gonna get triggered to a video verification, and now you got fewer options. So you can try the video verification using an Android phone, which and then spoof the location and submit, make the video as real as possible using showing tools and like logo on your car. And then if that gets rejected, then the final option is you have to get like a actual DBA and go back and forth with Google and then verify. Yeah, sure. I can critique your HVAC site. Just link it, Truman. Yeah, incognito, in my opinion, isn't going to hide your actual IP in the eyes of Google. Another out of the box idea is you make a job listing on Craigslist for that location. You make a listing about, don't say anything about GBP, but make a listing about anything about social media management or use a Google form so you get a bunch of application, make them fill out their address, phone number, make sure they have an actual legit address in that city. And then for the first job interview, you get them on Zoom and you go, hey, listen, for this first task, I want you to help me verify this map listing. And then your future task is going to be you managing this GBP. For this first task, I'm going to pay you $100 or $150. Never affect your usage of Gmail ever. It's just gonna have a business listing on it because I'm not in your location. So this is why I need an email that's in that location. In terms of managing the Gmail, you can add yourself as the manager account of that map listing. And then you can control that Gmail or GBP through your manager agency dashboard. So you don't have to bug that person ever again. Yeah, I've done back when it was like postcards, I was doing that strategy to verify my map listings. But in my mind, for a lot of you guys, like that might be one of the best strategies because you're suddenly now getting a Gmail that's aged in that IP of that city. Oh, and then if it asks for a phone verification, it might not call that call link number. Make sure that call link number is rerouted to you so you can verify while you got that guy on Zoom. But if the phone verification doesn't work, make sure you have the company. You don't have to get G Suite, just get the company email through your domain register or through Snaps, info at abcroofing.com, for example, right? Make sure you have that handy. And then if it asks for email verification, hit the email verification, get the email code, and then verify it.